Okay, pieces dealer. No one is vulnerable. So this is an interesting hand. The points obviously is lacking. We've only got 5 points. So typically with 5 points you'd be passing unless you had a preemptive bid. And indeed we do have a preemptive bid, or rather we have the option to make a preemptive bid. Our spades are good in the sense of quality. They're not great, but they're good. The thing that I really like about this hand is the two singletons. 7-4-1-1 is a much better shape than 7-2-2-2, just based on playing strength. I would prefer it if the jack was in there. That would make it much more of a pure suit. However, that's not the case. So really this jack of clubs is effectively not worth anything because it's a singleton. So the question is, are we happy to open 3 spades on a 4 count, effective 4 count? I would open 3 spades for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. 7-4-1-1, as I've discussed, good shape, not just a 7-card suit, but good shape outside as well. We are the first person to bid, which is good to preempt, because you're preempting 2 opponents and only 1 teammate, so that's a 2 in 3 chance of preempting someone on the opposite side. And the third thing is that we're not vulnerable. So all of these things would push me towards making an aggressive preemptive bid here. I'd open 3 spades because we've got 7 cards in spades. You could try and temper it by opening 2 spades, showing kind of a weak 2. But I think with a 7-card suit, that for me is of sufficient quality. So I would be opening 3 spades, albeit I accept that it is aggressive. So that would be my bid. I'd start with a preemptive bid of 3 spades. Now to South, directly after the 3-spade bid. Well, South's got an easy bid, much easier than East, no questions here. We haven't got anywhere near enough points to double, not the right shape, no long suit, nothing. So nice and easy pass. Now to West, responding to 3 spades. This normally is about how many spades you have. None. So this is basically the nightmare hand opposite a preemptive bid from your partner. Preempts are made on a preemptive assumption of the level of the fit. There's 7 cards in spades here. There's an average of 2 spades in everyone else's hand. So therefore 7 plus 2 is 9. So you bid for 9 tricks. That's the theory of a preemptive bid. You're preemptively bidding to the level of the fit. We are all too aware, as West, we actually know how many spades we have, and we don't have any, which means the level of the fit is 7 plus 0, which is 7, obviously, and 7 means we should be bidding 1 spade, not 3. So our partner is currently 2 levels too high in spades. This means we must pass, we must get out. When you're in a problem, do not dig. When you're in a hole, don't dig. Everyone knows that saying. So if we were to bid, let's say, 4 diamonds, going, I don't like spades, I like diamonds, and then they bid 4 spades because undoubtedly they won't have any diamonds, you're just making the problem worse. So opposite a preemptive bid, you add up how many trumps you have and you bid for that level. So in this instance, we want to bid 1 spade. So what that means is we actually want to bid minus 2 spades. That is how right pass is. We need to decrease the level by 2. So pass is so the right bid here. Yes, I accept our partner probably won't be making 3 spades, but we don't want to dig. So therefore pass and get out. And now to North. Someone must have all the points, and here they are. So we've got 20 points in total, 4-3-3-3, perfectly flat. Obviously this preemptive bid has given us a problem. If we were the opening bidder, we'd open 2 no trumps, showing 20-22, off we go to whatever is our correct contract. In this instance, we can't open 2 no trumps obviously because someone's opened a preemptive bid in front of us. We've got a difficulty here because we haven't got a long suit to bid. Strictly speaking, we haven't got the correct shape to double. We would like fewer spades to be making a take-out double. And not only that, take-out double would sort of underrepresent our number of points. Double, really, you only need an opening hand-ish, so we've obviously got a much better hand than that. So, obviously pass is the wrong bid. It's a choice between double or, I think, punt 3 no trumps. 3 no trumps on the basis that your partner will have a couple of points, let's say 5-ish, and we will be able to make 3 no trumps just on the sheer weight of our high card points. But this is a guess, and the reason we're having to guess is because of the preemptive bid from East. We've got to just take a punt, really. If you double and partner bids, let's say 4 clubs or 4 diamonds, we're going to have to raise that to 5 of a minor, because we just are, because of our number of points. And then we probably wish we were in 3 no trumps anyway. The only time double would benefit us is if partner has exactly 5 hearts, well, or 5 or more hearts, I suppose, and we can play in 4 hearts instead of 3 no trumps. But we don't know that, and of course we're having to guess here. So I personally would take a punt at 3 no trumps. The idea behind this is if there's an average of 7 points here, we've got 20, so that's 27, which means there's 13 between these two hands. So each of these hands has an average of 6.5 points. So therefore it's fairly safe to assume our partner has around 5 points, so that we can make 3 no trumps, because we've got 20, we only need 5-ish from our partner. And even then we might make it with fewer than 25 points if our partner has 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, where we can actually have a running suit going. So I would take a shot at 3 no trumps, but I accept that is a bit of a punt, but I can't see any other better bid, so that's what I would do. Okay, so everyone passed out the 3 no trumps, and East is now on lead to 3 no trumps. Obviously East is the one who preempted. I can't see any reason to not lead a spade here. I accept that North must have a spade stop for 3 no trumps, but for me it looks like the only opportunity we've got of taking this contract off. They might just have the king of spades, our partner has an entry and can give us a spade and we can take them off potentially, albeit that might be somewhat optimistic. So I would lead a spade. Normally you would lead 4th card down, so that would be the 8, but in this instance we actually have a sequence. This is known as an internal sequence. We've got a big card and then we've got a sequence. It still counts as a sequence lead. So when you have on a 10-9 like this, it's actually correct to lead the 10 and not 4th down. I do accept that the 8 is equivalent to the 10. So if you had led 4th down, that is basically the same thing as leading the 10. The only slight difference is that our partner has more info with the 10. When we lead the 10, we're denying the jack and we're promising the 9. Our partner should know that we wouldn't open a preempted bid at the 3 level with only 10-9. So they should know we have an honour higher than the 10 as well, just based on kind of inference that we wouldn't be that crazy to open 3 spades with only a 10 high suit. So this denying the jack and promising the 9, we've probably got something like Queen 10-9, King 10-9 or Ace 10-9, something in that region. But I'm leading a spade because I don't know what else to do. So this is the card I'd lead, top of an internal sequence. Okay, now goes the dummy. Okay, so we've seen that dummy. Obviously, we took a bit of a punt bidding 3 no trumps, so it's nice to see our partner has 7 points, which was roughly what we were expecting. So with 27 points, we would expect to be, well, certainly have a good chance of making 3 no trumps. The only thing I would kind of comment on before we look at each individual suit, etc., is that both hands are completely flat, 4-3-3-3 and 4-3-3-3. This often leads to difficulties because in no trumps, it's nice to have a long suit to run at. In this instance, we don't really have a long suit. The best suit, of course, is clubs, because we have 4 each. But really, we're not going to have a long suit to run at, so we're going to need tricks just based on the sheer weight of points. So a good idea when you see your dummy in no trumps is to count your top tricks between the 2 hands, and then look at where you think you're going to go for your extra tricks. So, looking from left to right, from dummy's perspective, we've got 1 top trick in diamonds, the ace. We've got no top tricks in spades because we are missing the ace. Now I know we will make tricks in spades, but we are missing the ace, so we can't count top tricks there. But 3 top tricks in hearts. Quite annoying that we don't have an extra heart in either hand so that we can enjoy the 4th heart, because we have all the top 5 hearts, but we can only play 3 of them because they're 3 opposite 3. And in clubs we have 1 top trick. So that's 1, 3 is 4, 1 is 5. So we have 5 top tricks and we need 9 to make our contract. That would imply we were in some difficulty here because we need 4 extra tricks. Now with regards to extra tricks, there's a slim chance of an extra trick in diamonds. If the king, queen are both here, the jack might present itself as a trick. There's a good chance of spade tricks. Once the ace is gone, we will have 2 spade tricks. No chance of extras in hearts because we've got the top 3. And there's a strong chance of extras in clubs. The reason the clubs are the best chance really is because we have 4 clubs and 4 clubs. So based on our length, the opponents only have 5 between them. So if we can rid their clubs of them, we'll at least make 1 extra trick just based on the sheer length of our clubs. And we might make another extra trick because of the queen of clubs might be finessing. If the king of clubs is on the right hand side, the club finesse might succeed. So from an extra trick kind of perspective, maybe 1 in diamonds, probably not. None in hearts, so really the red suits aren't looking too good. The spades we will make extra tricks, but we don't need to create those extra tricks because the opponents are going to do it for us because that's their suit. The clubs is where the extra tricks are looking like, and we need to go after them ourselves. So the clubs is the suit I'm going to look to play on. All too aware, of course, that spade tricks will eventually come out in the wash. If we can make an extra couple of tricks in clubs, we'll make an extra couple of tricks in spades by force. Our top tricks of 5 will have then gone to 9. 2 extra tricks here, 2 extra tricks here. This will happen by force. These clubs will need something nice to happen. The king of clubs finessing, the clubs breaking, or a combination of the two. Given that I want to play clubs from the table, and I strongly suspect / know that the ace of spades is on the left, if you just count your spades quickly, 3 spades in dummy, 3 spades in hand is 6, they open 3 spades promising 7, means this hand is void in spades, if we trust their bidding. So this hand looks like he's got ace 10, 9, 8 of spades, leading the 10 top of a sequence, so that would all add up. I think we want to win the lead in the dummy, knowing that this hand hasn't got the ace of spades, so play the queen and win, so that we can take the club finesse now. We could win the lead in hand, cross to a heart, and then take the club finesse, but there's no real reason to use a heart entry when we can use the queen of spades as an entry now. So I'd be playing the queen of spades at trick 1, fully expecting it to win, because I know, quote unquote, know that the ace of spades is on the left, and then I'm going to look to play the club to take a finesse in the hope the king of clubs is on the right, and see what happens. Okay, so, as expected, West is void in spades, they've got to discard something. The only thing I would definitely keep protected is the king to 4 clubs, just because that looks useful against dummy's 4-card club suit. So you could discard a low heart, or you could discard a low diamond. Depending on your discard system here, and depending on whether you actually think partner's going to get the lead or not, would probably sway you. I personally would probably throw a diamond, just in case declarer is looking for a heart honour, and we then deny it by showing low discouraging or high discouraging, depending on what you play. Doesn't look to me as if our diamonds are ever going to come in, because we haven't been led a diamond, and we're never going to really get the lead enough times to get the diamonds going. So I would discard a low diamond and or a high diamond, depending on what discarding system you're playing. I'm going to play the 2, because I play low equals like, but obviously you might have different discarding systems. So we discard the diamond, and the declarer is going to play small, the queen having won on the table, which was the plan. So now we've won the lead on the table, we're going to look to turn our attention to where our extra tricks are coming from, which is of course clubs. So we're going to take the club finesse. Low club, they should play low, we play the queen, 50-50 shot, slightly better than 50-50 because it's likely that more points are on our right than our left, but not necessarily, depending on what they preempted on. And the queen of clubs gets a rather interesting sight of the jack of clubs from the preemptor. This is almost certainly a singleton club. Why would they be playing the jack otherwise? It's really unlikely they're playing the jack from jack X or something similar. So the queen of clubs, having dropped the jack, is almost certainly a singleton club. So I'm immediately suspecting king 9 of clubs on my right here. The jack's dropping is actually very useful though, because we have the 10 on the dummy. So the club finesse worked and the jack dropped. So things have gone well there in the sense, well, the clubs haven't broken, but the jack dropped, which is very useful. So now the 10 of clubs is a threat. I'm strongly suspecting the remaining clubs are on the right. So there's 2 ways to approach this. We could cross to the dummy and then lead clubs from the dummy. Interestingly, because we are missing the 9, the right-hand opponent can always guarantee themselves of a club trick. If we lead the 10, they'll play the king, we play the ace, and their 9 is now a trick. If we lead low, they can play the 9, forcing our ace, and their king is now a trick. So because they have the 9 of clubs, they're actually guaranteed a club trick. The safest way to do this, and to not use entries, is to play a low club to the 10. A psychological way where you might succeed is low heart to dummy and then lead a club and hope they don't insert the 9. But they should do if they're switched on. So I'm going to play the safest way, which is a low club. They're going to discard something, probably a heart, given that they might have a chance with the spade suit, if they're thinking that anyway. Again, depends on your discarding system here. I'd be discarding high to say I don't have an honour, but again, it doesn't matter really. Now we need to play the 10. If they play the 8, we'll lose to the 9. So play the 10, and they can win the king of clubs. As such, we had to lose a club in that scenario, even wherever we leave them, as long as the defenders are not being silly and letting us have free tricks by ducking when they shouldn't be, etc. Now you can see the clubs were as we expected, they're 1 and 4. We know the 9 of clubs is on the right, so we've now got a finessing position against that 9. We have the 8 and the 7, the 9 slots nicely in there. So as long as we lead clubs from the table, we can now take 2 more club tricks. West is on lead though, so they'd like to lead a spade back to their partner. Of course they can't because they never started with any. So they've got to decide, are they switching to diamonds, their suit, or are they switching to hearts, passive, trying to give the lead away? Given that their partner's just discarded the 9 of hearts, which in my system says I don't like hearts, they would probably think that the heart is fairly safe. They're not finessing their partner of the queen or king or something like that. So they could be passive, or they could be active. An active lead would be switching to the king of diamonds, hoping to set their diamond suit up. Now, I suspect a lot of people would want to lead the king of diamonds, but this actually reveals where the king, queen of diamonds are to declarer. So this only really works if your partner has the ace of diamonds, very unlikely, or the jack of diamonds, somewhat likely. If declarer has ace jack of diamonds, which is the case, by leading the king you're actually revealing the diamond finesse position for them, so you're going to give them an extra trick. So the best defence here is to switch to a heart, being completely passive and trying not to give anything away. I'm going to say the defender does that because then that gives me the hardest time as declarer, but I understand that some defenders may well switch to the king of diamonds here, and if that were the case, declarer can then trap the remaining queen of diamonds with the ace jack, so that actually gives the declarer an extra trick. So I'm going to say they don't do that because it helps me. So assuming they switch to a heart, which is the most passive thing they can do, we want to win on the dummy to finesse these clubs. The 9 of clubs is still on our right. So I will play low, they play something low, and we can win the 10 or jack, as such. And now the lead's in the right place to play those clubs correctly. So you can lead the 8 and pinning the 9, or you can lead low to the 7. Because we have the 8 and the 7, both are fine. Interestingly, if we had the 8 and the 6, if this was the 6, not the 7, the 8 would get covered by the 9 and ace, and then they would have the winning 7. Or low would get the 7 and ace, and they would have the winning 9. So it's very important, actually, that we have the 7 and not the 6. Very interesting that it's come right down to those low pips. So let's say we lead the 8. If they cover the 9, we kill it, and we have the 7 as a winner. If they don't cover the 9, we win the 8. So they can't win. It honestly doesn't matter. Let's say they do that. So we do that. They discard something, again, probably a heart, because they're not interested. And we have managed to play those clubs for only one loser. That was through some good fortune. The king of clubs was in the right-hand side. The jack of clubs dropped singleton, so we knew how to play those clubs. We maximised our chances and our tricks there by knowing how the clubs were laying. So now we've actually got our extra tricks. We've got the 1 extra trick in spades at trick 1, and we've got 3 extra tricks here. Oh, sorry, 2 extra tricks here. So we need 1 more extra trick. That will guaranteed come from spades. We get rid of the ace of spades, and we've got another winner. So we've got 4 tricks currently. 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all winners. So we need 1 more trick to make our contract. We could try something rather cheeky in diamonds, and in fact that probably wouldn't cost us because the defenders are most likely to be trying to get rid of our spades anyway. So really there's 2 routes now. We play a safe line, play a low spade to the king or jack, getting rid of the ace, and then winning the other one. Or we play a low diamond, trying to do some skullduggery in diamonds to generate an extra trick. Being greedy myself, I probably would attempt the diamonds, expecting not much success, but actually being rewarded in this instance because both diamond honours are on the right hand side. Low diamond gets played. This defender does very well to duck diamonds. A lot of defenders here would do something known as splitting honours. Queen gets rid of the ace, now my king is a winner. That's the psychological thinking. The best play is to play low and not give declarer any information about what's going on. By playing the queen or king, you're playing high in second seat. That is almost always someone with queen and king because they're trying to force. So the correct play here is low. Now I know, because as declarer I can see the defender's cards, I know I could win the 9 or jack here. And you're thinking, well, if I played the queen or king, they wouldn't have been able to win the 9 or jack. But declarers don't know that. They might then go, ooh, I'm not sure about this. They ducked pretty quickly. Maybe the queen or king's here. Maybe I need to play the 9. Do I need to play the jack, or shall I just take my ace? So this is the best psychological play. The queen or king guarantees a trick, but gives away the diamond suit entirely. Interestingly, the best odds from this perspective, from a declarer's perspective, with ace jack 9, the best odds is the 9. You're playing for this person to have the 10 and to have another honour. As it happens, they have absolutely everything, king, queen and 10. So I can't go wrong, but the 9 is the best odds. Jack relies on queen and king here, the 9 relies on the 10 here. So the 9 is a better odds perspective. You also need 1 of the honours with the 10 here, because you're going to refinesse in a minute. So we play the 9. We expect this to lose to the queen or king or the 10. But as it happens, the 9 wins. So the greedy line of playing an extra trick in diamonds, playing for an extra trick in diamonds, is immediately rewarded because everything is on the right place. If this hand had risen with an honour, we play the ace, we go back to the dummy, we play another diamond towards our jack, knowing they must have the other honour, so we get the extra trick that way anyway. So they sort of can't win, really, because they're in the right place. So we win that extra trick in diamonds. Now the greed must stop, unfortunately. We can't get another trick in diamonds because the king-queen will get rid of the jack, and therefore we only have 1 more trick in diamonds. So now we've got to take our tricks. Play the king of spades, getting rid of the ace of spades, and then we must win the lead, and we've got the rest of the tricks, barring this diamond. If they take the ace of spades, good, we've got the jack of spades as a winner. If they don't take the ace of spades, don't play the jack, otherwise they'll have lots of winning spades. Most defenders now will play the ace of spades, which we lose. Oops, and they discard something, it's completely irrelevant what they do now. And then they continue spades because they've got no option, like so. And now we have the rest of the tricks, the jack of spades, king, queen of hearts with the ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. The only trick we're going to lose is this jack of diamonds at the end. This hand will keep on to the king, queen of diamonds because they've got nothing else to hold. So we're going to take those 5 tricks, plus the 5 we already have, which is 10. We made 1 extra trick because we were greedy in diamonds. We could have took our safe 9. Once we'd established the clubs, we could have took our safe 9. I was greedy for a 10. And it worked.